Hey guys, Brad Danger here, and today, here are the 8 best cheap SUVs that you can buy. And TLDR, well, it's the Nissan Xterra, the Acura MDX, the Honda CR-V, the Lexus RX 350, the Mazda CX-5, the Chevy Tahoe, the Kia Soul, and the Mercedes-Benz M-Class, the ML320 and ML350. But stick around because I'm going to tell you exactly why these are ideal, starting with the Nissan Xterra. The Nissan Xterra is the king of cheap, rugged adventure rigs. Back when SUVs were starting to become kind of cool, Nissan built the Xterra for one thing: no frills off-road fun. Marketed as everything that you need, nothing that you don't, it's stripped down to essentials, which translates into bulletproof reliability. With beefy body-on-frame construction, a torquey V6, and legit 4x4 capabilities, mud and snow become your playground, not a problem. There's tons of room inside for your friends, camping gear, and whatever else your weekend throws at you. Plus, the aftermarket support is massive. Think of it as the 350Z of dirt trails. You can easily snag one for under 10, even like 6 or 7K, since Nissan ended production in 2015. Pro tip though, grab a supercharged SC model if possible. It packs an extra 30 horsepower for more miles per mile. Just watch out for rust and verify the 4-wheel drive actually works. Because with the Xterra, you get reliable, affordable, badass SUVs that's tough enough for your wild weekends, but still chill enough to handle the daily grind commutes to, school or grocery store. And as always, we've linked to all of these in the pinned first comment down below via Auto Tempest, where you can find them for super cheap. Go snag one. Next. Quick, Rocky from New York already drove off with the first GTR and the bonus cash that changed his life. We literally flew him out here. He hung out with us for the whole weekend. We shipped his car back home to New York, and the dude had the time of his life. It genuinely changed everything for him. And now it's your turn. If you want a shot at winning your dream car plus bonus cash, hit the link in the pinned first comment right now. Now, back to the show. So you want your cheap SUV to be fun, fast, and, well, cheap. But above all, you need it to be reliable. Enter the Acura MDX, aka the Honda in a fancy suit. Acura is Honda's luxury arm, and the MDX shares a lot of its solid DNA with the Honda Pilot, which means maintenance costs are manageable and longevity is practically a given. The first-gen MDX hit the scene back in 2001 and immediately made waves. In fact, back in the day, it was pound for pound one of the best bang-for-buck SUVs ever. And it was even the fastest SUV in its class at the time. Because, VTEC. Yeah, it had 240 horsepower under the hood. I mean, this thing can still hustle. Yeah, well, it has VTEC. Yo. And it's still kicking butt decades later this year. The MDX gives you a bit of everything: a 3.5-liter V6 with VTEC for that high rev fun, a smooth automatic transmission, and even a trick variable torque management all-wheel drive system that sends power where it's needed, when it gets slick. You've got around 8 inches of ground clearance, so potholes or the occasional dirt road won't phase it. Inside there's seating for 7, so you can bring the whole squad, and typical Acura luxury touches. And of course, they are now cheap. We found multiple early 2000s MDX under 5K, and even some 2007 and 08 models for under 7. Sometimes the obvious choice is obvious for a reason. For a cheap SUV, well, on a ramen budget, the CR-V, it checks all the boxes: top-tier reliability, solid fuel efficiency, and plenty of room for your friends and gear. These compact SUVs have been everywhere since the late 90s, and it's not unheard of to see even first-gen CR-Vs still humming along on the road, a testament to their bulletproof engineering. With around 10 grand to spend, you're likely looking at a mid-2000s to early 2010 CR-V. Even if it does have higher mileage, don't sweat it too much, as long as it's been well maintained. A CR-V can easily run 200, 300, 400,000 miles without drama. For under 10, you can often find an 07 to 11, the third-gen CR-V in good shape. Maybe even a 12 to 14 if you're okay with more miles. The CR-V's 2.4-liter four-cylinder isn't going to win any drag races, but it's peppy enough and sips gas compared to those V8 SUVs. All-wheel drive is optional, so if you live in a snowy area, well, try to get the all-wheel drive model. It's a real champ in foul weather. Otherwise, the front-wheel drive versions will save you a bit on gas, but both are an ideal pick. When it comes to blending luxury and reliability on the cheap, the Lexus RX is the king. Lexus is Toyota's luxury brand, so the RX 350 is basically a Toyota at heart, and Toyota's reputation for bulletproof reliability is legendary. Ask anyone to name a super reliable SUV, and the Lexus RX often springs to mind. This midsize SUV is smooth, comfy, and quiet, with a plush interior that will make you feel like a CEO on your morning commute. to wherever you're going. It's got that subtle, I have my life together vibe that can elevate your style instantly. And here is a fun fact. The RX is built on a modified Toyota Camry platform, and the Camry is one of the most reliable cars in history. Older, 06 to 09 era RX 350s can easily be found for well under 10. Often, I actually found a couple for under 6. And guys, don't be afraid of mileage. I mean, if it has 150K or so, and it's maintained, that's no big deal for a Lexus or Toyota. I mean, you're getting a 3.5 liter V6 that's smooth and around 270 horses, which is plenty to haul you and your friends around. Plus, it has all-wheel drive, but it also has front-wheel drive. So just make sure it has all-wheel drive, and it's going to be ready for year-round duty. We've seen 2008-ish models going for 5 to 7K, which is insane given that they were 40K plus new. Maybe reliability alone isn't enough for you. You want a ride that's also fun to drive and kind of stylish. Check out the Mazda CX-5, a compact SUV that's basically an athlete in this group. Mazda had this magic touch for handling, and the CX-5 feels almost like a sporty hatchback when you toss it into a corner. For those of you that enjoy driving, this one, it's a game changer. And unlike the thirsty V8 SUVs, the CX-5 will save you money at the pump as well. The first model year was 2013, so early CX-5s are now just hitting that sweet spot in price. And yes, you can find them for well under 10. Better yet, Mazda's reliability in the 2010s has been very strong. The CX-5 has earned the high marks for dependability. No more rusty 90s Mazdas. Those were, well, from yesteryear, and even snagged IIHS Top Safety Pick awards pretty much every year of its run. So your insurance company and your significant other will be happy too. With up to 10K, you're looking at a 2013 or 14 CX-5, maybe with around 100,000 miles, give or take, and that's fine as long as it's been maintained. Mazdas run a long time. One tip, in 2014 though, Mazda offered a larger 2.5 liter engine on the CX-5, which has noticeably more oomph, 184 horses versus the 155 in the 2 liter. If you can snag a 2014 Plus Touring or Grand Touring trim, you'll get that extra powerful engine and more features. But even the 2013 with the 2 liter is peppy enough for city life and freeway cruising, while also sipping fuel. Most CX-5s in the used market are front-wheel drive, but all-wheel drive, it was available. If you need it for weather, double-check the listing. Maybe, compact isn't your thing. You want big. You want to roll deep with all your buddies, or you just love that commanding full-size SUV presence. Meet the Chevrolet Tahoe, the American icon on our list. Everything is bigger in the USA, we know. And the Tahoe lives up to that mantra. This beast can fit 8 people comfortably, heck, even 9 if you want to put one more in the bench seat. So if you're always the one driving the crew to concerts, weekend trips, or just Walmart runs, the Tahoe, it's got your back. It's also packing serious heat under the hood. Most used Tahoes come with a V8 power, meaning it's got no problem merging onto highways or even doing a little towing for that jet ski that you're totally going to buy someday with paying less than 10 grand for this thing. In fact, the Tahoe is often sneakily quick. Some enthusiasts joke that it is a sleeper of older SUVs. And let's not ignore the cool factor. Tahoes and their GMC Yukon siblings have been the go-to choice for police departments and government fleets for decades, which means 2 things. They're durable, and there are tons of them on the used market at any given time. So with a 10K budget, you're mostly looking at 07 to 14 generation Tahoes or a really nice late 2000s one. They're out there. Some might be ex-government or ex-police vehicles. Those can actually be pretty decent buys if they weren't totally abused, as they're usually fleet maintained. Don't expect great gas mileage, but the trade-off is power and room for days. If you're lucky, you might even find a Tahoe with cool extras. We've seen old police K9 unit Tahoes with built-in dog cages, for example. At the very least, you'll get a rugged SUV that can handle rough roads and has available 4-wheel drive for winter. If you're the type who likes to stand out from the crowd, the Kia Soul might just be speaking to you, possibly through giant dancing hamsters, if you remember those commercials. The Soul isn't a traditional SUV, but this subcompact crossover has won over tons of young drivers with its funky, boxy, but cool-looking design and budget-friendly price. It's the kind of car that puts a smile on your face. Despite its small exterior, the Soul is shockingly roomy inside. It's approachable. Cube shape hides about 61 cubic feet of cargo space with the rear seats folded, which is enough for moving a dorm room's worth of stuff. On a crowded college campus, a small footprint like the Soul's is gold. Easy to park, easy to maneuver, yet still versatile enough to haul friends and groceries. Look for an 012 to 016 Kia Soul in your price range, and you'll find plenty well under 10K. often between 5 and 7 for nice ones. Even the older 2010 to 11 models can be had for less than $4K if your budget is super tight. The great thing is though, the second gen Soul, the 2014 to 19, brought some nice improvements like a more refined interior and available features. And you can already find 2014s for around $7,000. Under the hood, most Souls came with either a 1.6 or 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Neither is going to burn rubber, but they're peppy around town and won't drain your gas money. I mean, mid to upper 20 miles per gallon is typical. Plus, the Soul is reliable and cheap to maintain. Parts like brakes and filters are common and affordable. Tech-wise, Kia was ahead of the game. Even base models from the mid-2000s often have Bluetooth connectivity and USB ports. Higher trims might have a backup camera or even heated seats. One thing to note, Souls are mostly front-wheel drive only, no all-wheel drive. So if you're in a snow-heavy region, invest in good tires and you're going to be totally fine. All right, time to pull out the big guns, boys and girls, because we've saved this one for last because it's the ultimate look-rich on a budget move, the Mercedes-Benz M-Class, commonly known by models like the ML320 and ML50. This thing was a game changer when it was launched. It was Mercedes' first midsize SUV and was even featured in the Jurassic Park movies back in the day, instantly making it a pop culture icon. Now, a couple of decades later, you can find first-gen ML320s for well under $5,000, and even some nicer second gens creeping under the $10K mark. The ML still looks expensive with its classy design, and it certainly was expensive when new, packed with advanced features for its time. This SUV was loaded with tech. It was the first SUV ever to come with electronic stability control for safer handling. It's got front and side airbags all around, a sophisticated all-wheel drive system that's great in snow or on rough roads. And fun fact, despite the German badge, the M-Class was actually built in the USA, in Alabama. So you're basically buying a piece of American-made luxury. Focus on the 2002 to 2005 ML320 350s or the 06 to 07 ML350 if you want the best value for under $10,000. They typically come with a 3.2 liter or 3.5 liter V6. They're not too bad on gas and plenty of power to haul this hefty SUV around. Some even have a third row, tiny, but it is there. And if you need to cram extra friends or family in, well, that's your golden ticket. Check the interior, leather seats, real wood trim, dual zone climate control, and you are just living the luxury life. Okay, so that's the list. Which one is your favorite? If it were me, I'd probably go Mazda CX-5 for the best all-around SUV. But if you want the cheapest maintenance, the CR-V, that's your guy. Remember, we've linked to all of these via Auto Tempest in the pinned first comment down below. And remember to go to winthisIdealcar.com to get entered for free to win our very first car, well, supercar that we're giving away. I'm Brad Danger. This is Ideal. We'll catch you next week, and check out these videos over here. Hit the like, subscribe, and promise me one thing. Keep living the ideal lifestyle.